You've arrived at the Texas to Tennessee Podcast, your home for your favorite independent artists, and a couple of guys you've never heard of.
Who?
It was Texas, it was Tennessee. It was what I had coming to me. You were unlike anything.
Howdy, folks. You have arrived at the Texas to Tennessee Podcast. My name's Steve. Up top on my screen is Dr. Gravy. How are you?
I'm doing good. It's funny because I'm never in the same place on the desktop screen. Yeah.
You just kind of float around.
Yeah.
Well, if you thought you tuned in for a recap of the great Kansas-Arizona basketball game last night, folks, you're in the wrong place. Tonight, we have Hayden Baker joining us. Welcome in, Hayden.
Yeah, you are in the wrong place because I have no idea what happened in that game.
It was a great game.
It was a great game.
Yeah, it was amazing. So,
unlike some of the stars of the Kansas Jayhawks, Hayden decided to show up for the podcast.
He did decide to show up.
I'm here.
Yep.
That's half the battle.
That's a sports ball thing there. Yeah.
It is.
Yeah, Kansas has a player that doesn't like to play most of the games. So.
Yeah, he's really good. But
he's really good, though.
Sometimes he doesn't.
A lot of my Astros have been doing that. They've just been sitting out most of the season with random injuries, so I'm used to that. But how are you doing, boys?
Yeah, seems to be a trend for sure. All right, well, we appreciate you being here, folks. If you've joined us on YouTube, that is our preferred location. We'll see you in the chat. Feel free to fire questions. We may or may not ask them, but we do appreciate you being there. Somebody asked the other day, how can we support Soul Gravy in his endeavor to get all these great artists recognized? And he said cash would be the easiest way, but realize that's probably not realistic. So if you could just go subscribe wherever you watch, that would be greatly appreciated. Also, takes I think 30 seconds to write a review. So yeah, that'd be cool too. Appreciate it. But thank you for being here, Hayden. We're going to toss it to you. We want to know a little bit about you. So if you could just give us a little bit of your backstory and we'll go from there.
For sure, man. Thank y'all for having me. It's an honor to be here. I'm from Katy, Texas, which is out west of Houston. I grew up there, born and raised, was playing sports all through childhood and high school, played a little baseball in college, and gave it up my junior year to chase this neon rainbow. And I've been doing that full time for about 6 or 7 years now. Put out 5 independent projects. Had a publishing deal in Nashville, and I've been flying up there about once a month for the last 4 years, writing songs and doing all that stuff and touring down here in Texas and surrounding states, just trying to make a name, man.
Well, perfect. That's a great intro. It's going to give us a ton of material to talk from. But the first thing that we like to do is we like to quiz Soul Gravy on famous folks from your hometown.
Okay.
So
right.
There's a few.
Yep. The town in question is Katy, Texas. As of the 2020 census, I think it was around 20,000. I feel like it's larger than that when I've been through, but
probably.
Yeah, it's kind of getting gobbled up by the greater Houston area, right?
That's right. I'm up on the north side in the Conroe area now. It is so big. I think they have 9 or 10 high schools. It's crazy. In Katy.
That's nuts. Well, folks, Katy, Texas, we're going to start off. Soul Gravy, I'm going to set you up for success right out of the gate. Gentleman's name's Clint Black.
I was hoping he would guess that one.
Yeah. I'm familiar with Clint Black's work. We've had Clint Black's manager on.
We did.
Brenton Strickland, I believe.
Yep. Shout out to Brenton. What a great dude.
Shout out to me to remembering names too. So
and
Clint actually went to high school with my dad.
Oh, okay. Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
He didn't finish high school, but he was there for a little bit.
Nice. And I think, if I remember right, I think Mike Harmeyer of Silverado maybe was friends with his brother, and his brother used to hang out at his place or something. But I remember that from one of the pods as well. So shout out to Clint Black. Soul Gravy, you're 1 for 1.
All right.
We're going to set you up for here. Yeah, well, I think you're going to get this one. Roger Krieger.
I'm familiar with Roger Krieger. Yeah, he's a Texas country artist. I think he's from Texas. I don't really know. Well, yeah, I guess he is. He's from Katy. Yeah. Also, he has one of my favorite Jimmy Buffett covers. His version of Howard Looks at 40 is one of my favorite
Oh yeah, yeah.
favorite
Very
covers.
well.
I like it better than the original, to be honest.
All right. 2 for 2, Soul Gravy. Andy
right.
Dalton, also known as the Red Rocket.
Red Rocket. Yeah. He was a quarterback. I'm trying to remember the teams. I think the Eagles.
He was the Bengals he's played for a lot of teams, but I think
know.
he had a lot of success with Cincinnati.
Yep.
Wasn't he a Cowboy at one point too?
I think he was. I think he played for
Probably,
Carolina
yeah.
as well. But yeah, he's been around. Red Rocket.
Gotcha.
Went to TCU, I think.
Horned Frog.
That's right. All right. Next up, Soul Gravy.
Mhm.
See if you've been paying attention. De'Aaron Fox.
De'Aaron Fox is a basketball player.
He is.
I think he went. I know he was a Calipari guy at Kentucky. I think he's a Sacramento King still.
I think he was,
No,
but I think he's with the Spurs now.
Spurs, that's right.
Yep. Kind of knocking it out of the park tonight, Soul Gravy.
Thank you. Well, I mean,
Sports ball reference.
exactly.
All right. It gets a little harder. Janine Garofalo.
For some reason, I feel like I know that name, but I don't know why. Who is Janine?
She's a stand-up comedian. She's pretty funny.
Okay.
Yeah, shout out to her.
Gotcha.
Renee O'Connor.
Okay, not Shanae O'Connor. That's
Different.
close.
Yeah, well, same last name.
I don't think I'm familiar with Renee.
She's most well known for her role as Gabrielle in Xena, the Warrior Princess. We like to kind of go all over the board here.
Okay, I got you. I remember watching the show when I was a young lad.
I figured that was about your time, so all right. Too bad. Horst Christian Simcoe. Horst Christian Simcoe.
You lost me after Andy Dalton.
I know. Yeah, I'm not familiar.
Horst is better known as Riff Raff. He's a rapper.
Oh,
okay.
yeah. Okay.
Shout out to Riff Raff. All right, Soul Gravy. Mason Wynn.
I feel like I'm losing this one. I don't know.
Well, I gave you a hint in the text yesterday when you sent
The baseball.
something to me. Yes.
Okay. Baseball, yes. So he's a baseball player.
And he plays for
The Cardinals?
the St. Louis Cardinals.
Okay.
Well done. Yeah,
So I happened to, I sent Talbot an oldie bumper sticker from when I worked in the radio business back in the day, from like the mid '90s, I think is when that sticker was from.
Yeah,
just ran across from WKBL.
Soul Gravy used to manage the on-air broadcast for the Cardinals in Memphis.
Yeah,
right?
I don't think I managed anything. I just played the commercials at the local redneck radio station.
It feels like management.
It's the same thing.
Yeah.
They gave me a key. That's close to management.
Yeah.
Right.
Here's one for you. Renee Zellweger.
That was the one I was going to add. If you did.
So she's an actress, right?
She is. I want to say
former wife of Kenny Chesney, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, I was going to say that for sure. I know she was in the Tom Cruise movie, the sports agent movie, I think.
Jerry Maguire.
Jerry Maguire. Thank you, Hayden. Appreciate that. I'm going to give you one more, Soul Gravy. You've done exceptionally well tonight.
All right.
I want to give you one that I think you have a shot at. All right, Jalen Milroe.
Yep.
Is it? I think he was. I know he's a football player.
Yes.
College football player, and I can't remember if it was Alabama or Georgia, or I don't remember.
I think he was at Alabama. I'm pretty sure.
I think so.
And then I think he just won a Super Bowl ring because I'm pretty sure he's a backup quarterback for the Seahawks.
Okay.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So shout out to Jalen. Maybe flashing his ring.
The running back that was making all them plays at the Super Bowl is from Memphis.
Oh, is he?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I didn't know that until he won a Super Bowl and everybody started talking about it. But apparently he's from Memphis.
Shout out to the Seahawks.
I know.
All right.
Here we go.
Well, that was Why Are They Famous? Katy,
All
Texas version. Hayden, thanks for letting us play along. Did I miss anybody?
I mean, if you're going on the athlete route, like professional athlete, there's a ton from like my age group. You had Connor Capel, I believe, is still playing pro ball. He
Okay.
played for the Cardinals, played for the Giants, the A's, and he went to Seven Lakes. We played against each other in travel ball.
Oh, cool.
Um, my entire I went to Katy High School, so I played football there. They're the dynasty of Texas high school football.
Sure.
My senior year, our entire starting defense went D1,
Oh, wow.
and there's Patty Fisher was a big name. He played for Northwestern, won like
Yep.
Big Ten all conference. I played little league with him when we were 5 years old. He
Oh,
came out to
cool.
one of my shows like a few weeks ago. There's a ton of player. Ryder Anderson, I think, is in the NFL right now. He was my backup quarterback on JV, like sophomore year, and now he's 6'7", playing D line.
Oh, wow.
So there's a
Yeah.
handful of pro athletes for sure.
That's awesome. Well, I feel like we got smarter tonight, Soul Gravy. Appreciate all the info there, Hayden. We're going to ask you some music stuff because that's really what we got you on here.
I know more about that. Yeah.
Yep. So
I think.
this question we ask, I sometimes get a hard time for it, but it helps me kind of figure out where you sit musically. I think I might know some of the answers to this, but I'd like to hear it from you. So it's called the pie question. We're going to divide the music business up into 4 sections. The 4 sections are songwriting, recording, performing. The 4th piece of pie is everything else that you may not love to do, but is required of your job. It's not one of those first 3 things. So, which part of or which slice of pie for you is home? Which one of those things is the place where you go, okay, this is what I'm best at?
Man, that's a great question. I the fourth
Don't
fourth
tell him
part.
that.
That's a terrible question.
There we go.
The fourth part, I guess you could lump like social media and all, posting and content into that. That's my worst. I really try to work hard at it, but that's the one where I'm like, I feel like I'm forcing myself a lot. The other 3 are pretty close. Playing live for me has been like what I got into this for. So that was like my first love, was just I wanted to play guitar in a band and play solos, and I was playing shows long before I was writing or recording. But the more I've done it, the more I've gotten into it. I think my favorite place to be is the recording studio.
Okay.
I've done 5 independent albums, and I've co-produced them. I played all the guitar parts on them. I obviously wrote all the songs, and I'm really hands-on when it comes to the studio. And I love just getting to go in there and take all my toys and guitar-wise, and make them sound good and tweak things and stuff like that. But man, I have really grown to love songwriting almost more than anything over the past few years. I've started to kind of figure out my voice as a writer, and that's come from just writing a lot, but also getting in the room with people that are a lot better than me, and learning things from them. And I'm still doing that to this day. So I would say that those other 3, they kind of, it depends on which one I'm doing at the time. Like
Yeah.
we're in like show mode right now. I'm prepping for shows. I'm making set lists and we're rehearsing. And so like my brain's on that. And when my brain's on that, it's thoroughly enjoying that. But when it's time to go to the studio, I'm excited as can be. And then when it's time to step into a writer's room in Nashville, I'm also just excited as can be. So those 3 I love. The other one,
Yeah.
you got to do it, so you do it.
Do you? There's a few follow-up questions there. Do you have somebody that helps you with that 4th piece of pie, or is that all on you? Or
Excuse me. It's pretty much all on me.
okay,
We're in the process of putting a team together, which is exciting, and it's full of some very well known and solid people. But pretty much since I started doing this in 2018, all of that has been just whatever I can think of and come
Makes
up
sense.
with. And most of the time, it doesn't work. Sometimes it does.
So if let's say, imagine I was like, I don't know, 30, 40 years younger, and I was getting started in this business. what would be some of the tips or things maybe that you've experienced along the way, things that you could help me not have to do or learn from your experiences, I guess?
Hmm. Um, it's another terrible question.
Fair enough. I got more.
Yeah, good. I would say on the content side of things, because as I have to fight this daily, is do your best to not focus on the number of views that it gets or engagements that it gets, and just focus on doing what you love to do and create what you love to create. Because sometimes content's fun for me when I get in a groove and I'm doing stuff that I enjoy. It's fun. When it's not is when I'm like, okay, I just have to do something, and I'm forcing myself to do it, and then it posts, and it's it really isn't conducive to my um, whatever you want to call it, style or whatever, and it doesn't work, and then I just start, and then I get in kind of a rabbit hole of just looking at numbers and like, oh well, this video didn't do that, well, this one didn't do well, this one didn't do well, instead of focusing on doing what I love. So I would say try your best to incorporate the things you love about the other three parts of the pie into that fourth part of the pie, and it'll make it a little less daunting.
Well, I was excited to ask that question of you. One, because I think the original pie question. One, because I know you're a great songwriter, and I know you're a great player, and um, I was curious how you yourselves, and not everybody has all, the songwriting, picking the singing, the vocals. Like you have a lot of those things that everybody wants.
Yeah.
So I guess I was just more curious, kind of which one of those felt, the most at home for you. I'm curious also to know about, when you discovered uh, on the recording side that hey, that was the place where you wanted to spend as much time as you could there.
Yeah, guitar was always the most natural thing. I picked that up first, and I I say this a lot in interviews. I think it was so easy to pick up because I played Guitar Hero as a kid, and I
Okay.
was really good at Guitar Hero. I was playing on expert and all that stuff, and impressing the girls at dare night in elementary school on the Guitar Hero machine. I was not impressing the girls; it was the guys.
That's all right.
Um, but
We understand.
yeah. The guitar, when I decided to finally pick it up in high school and try to learn it, it was almost automatic. And to this day, like that's just the thing that I definitely have to practice, especially the older I get. It'll show, and I'll feel it if I don't pick up the axe for a week and then just try to go play a show and do the stuff I'm supposed to do on the guitar. Um, but guitar was the easiest to pick up, and the most natural. Singing was the least natural, and even like literally today and tomorrow, I'm gonna have to do vocal work and exercises and warm ups to just make sure I'm in shape for the show. I am not a natural singer. I especially was not when I first started singing. I didn't know I could. There's nobody musical in my family. I didn't grow up in choir or singing in church or anything like that. And when I was finally roped into singing by this band I was playing for, I was like, this is gonna be terrible. And I tried it, and it was like, it's not terrible. I can hold a tune. I know what sounds bad and what sounds good, but the mechanics aren't there. Like I'm a very tense person when I get stressed out. Like my shoulders and neck tense up, and so I had to really, really work for years just on my own. I had a couple of vocal coaches, but I was just as curious about the voice as I was about the guitar and how it worked. And I was determined. I was like, if I could figure out how to play a Brad Paisley solo,
Right.
I can figure out how to use my diaphragm and my vocal cords properly. Jury's out on if I'm going to figure it out. We're still working on it.
Well,
But
that's pretty
that was the
modest.
least natural. And then songwriting, it honestly, I would say that was pretty natural. That I've heard that you kind of you either have it or you don't when it comes to songwriting. It's really hard to teach the innate ability to create something like that. You can get tips and tricks along the way, which I've been fortunate to get from a lot of great songwriters. But the first song I ever wrote is a song that I put out called "How It Used to Be," that did okay for us in the beginning, and it's not a terrible song. So I think songwriting was kind of easy to get going as well. And once you get that bug of you get in a room with somebody and you write something that makes you high five each other, you want to get that feeling again. So I always had the itch to write, and I get real excited about that.
One more, Soul Gravy. So I think this feels like a natural time to ask about your publishing deals or deal that you've had in the past, and kind of how you developed that songwriting piece of it. You had some pretty influential folks that you got to work with, at least from what I learned about, and anything that you could share about that would be great.
Sure, yeah. I got in 2021, I signed a publishing deal with Ronnie Dunn's publishing company that he had just started, and I wrote there for a year, and that was basically Ronnie had heard the album I put out in 2020 just by chance, and I knew Ronnie growing up through my dad in the Houston rodeo and stuff. I got to meet him when I was a kid a bunch, hanging around backstage and stuff because my dad worked star security for the rodeo. But there was never like I wasn't playing music at the time, so we weren't trying to get him to listen to my stuff. He heard my album by chance. His daughter played one of the songs off of it for him a week after it came out, and he was like, "Who's that?" And she said, "Hayden Baker," and he was like, "Bruce's kid?" And he picked up the phone and called my dad. And he was like, "What the hell? When did he start? He's pretty good." And he said, "Man, well, we need to get him up to town and teach him how to write songs." I'd only written 15, 20 songs at the time down here in Texas. And so I finished up my degree at A&M and flew to town the next Monday. Wrote at Ronnie's house on Tuesday. We wrote 2 songs. I cut one of them, and he signed me the next day and was like, "We're just gonna throw you in the writers' room with people, and you're gonna learn how to co-write and learn how to, do all that kind of stuff." And that was that year for me up there, was doing that. And then after my deal was up, he let me go because I was really touring pretty hard down here in Texas, and I was making a decent living. And he was like, "If you're not going to move to town and like be in the office Monday through Friday, I'm not going to, pay you the advancement and re-sign you." So he's like, "But the door's always open. We're here to help. Whenever, but go do your thing. Go be an artist and everything," which was awesome. And to this day, Ronnie's been a wonderful asset and just friend. We wrote together a few months ago up at his place, and
Very cool.
Yeah, he's incredible.
Well, I said that was my last question, Soul Gravy. It's not.
It's okay.
When you first got thrown in some of those rooms, did you realize how, I guess, accomplished the writers that you were with? I mean, was that something that you saw immediately, or was that something to where you were just, I don't want to say naive, but just kind of, all right, well, I'm in it and we'll see what happens. What was that vibe like?
Yeah, depending on the room, there was some heavy hitters in there that I probably shouldn't have been in the room with, but you kind of have the balance of like, you're aware of the room, and you want to, when you're in a room like that where you're the rookie and they're the vets with all the hits, you got to play that a little bit differently than otherwise, because like you don't want to just run your mouth and pretend you know it all and like just hammer home a line that probably shouldn't be in there, and these guys kind of look at you funny and then they don't invite you back. Like I learned when not to speak up in writers' rooms when the big dogs were on a roll. Just kind of let them do their thing. I would toss in a guitar lick here and there that would add to the song. But you also go in with a little bit of a confidence of like, I'm supposed to be here. I'm meant to be here, so I'm gonna take what the day gives me. My favorite, I don't remember who told me this, but I live by it to this day, is you just write what's in the room that day. Whoever pitches the best idea, whatever feels the best, write what's in the room. Don't try to force anything, or you're not going to have fun. The song's probably not going to be that good, and they're not going to want to write with you again.
Makes sense. Okay. Yeah. Great answer.
Any of those songs that you've been a part of that you know of have been cut by someone that's not you?
Ronnie cut one a few years ago that him and I wrote together. Nothing has happened with it. But I heard the master of it 3 years ago.
Right.
And that's cool in and of itself to have Ronnie's voice on a song you wrote.
No doubt.
Um, a couple of my buddies that are doing the Texas circuit have cut a few songs that I wrote with them. David Lewis is another guy that's great. He's just put out an album, and there's a song on there called "Strangers Again" that David and I wrote back in College Station 5 years ago. Um, my buddy Trent Cowie just put out a song, "Moving On," that him and I also wrote in College Station like 4 years ago. And there's a few that have gotten tossed around. I put a song out called "Drinking Buddy" last year that Blake Shelton, I think, had on hold for a while. John Party was interested in it, and Ronnie was interested in it as well. Wound up just sitting out there, so I put it out myself. Um, but yeah, it's been pretty cool just getting other people's voices and stuff on your songs.
Yeah. Well, one thing I was going to follow up on when you were talking about earlier, as far as being discouraged when you make posts or whatever, following or watching the numbers. Um, I guess I just wanted to point out that even in the podcast world, to listeners of this thing, it can be the same way as far as you can put stuff out. It can be an interview you extremely like, and then it doesn't do what you want it to do.
Yeah,
But then you follow. Then anything can happen as far as an artist follows up and says, hey man, I really enjoy watching such and such, or you just never know who's listening, who's watching, who's whatever, and then or in my case, I happen to get to meet you or somebody or someone else, a year from now, I'm from down in Texas or whatever, get to meet somebody, and then that makes it cool, that you were on too. So you just never know. But it can be discouraging from all different sides. And also what you said, as far as combining the things that you like to do with the socials, I think that's really good advice for anybody trying to do the social media stuff, whether it's music or something else. Because if you are forcing it, just like you said with the songs, you're probably not you're not going to enjoy it, and it probably will come across in the posts and stuff as well.
totally.
But
Totally. And to piggyback off of what you said about you never know, who's watching or whatever, I'll give you a prime example of that. The song that we're going to play later in the show, "Letting You Go," um, I put out the album in October, and I was just so locked in on posting every day and like different content, different songs and whatnot. And I knew "Letting You Go" was streaming pretty well, and I knew it was having like a little bit of success on Facebook, some organic success on there. But I was so frustrated. I'm like, man, I can't get anything to work on TikTok and Instagram this and TikTok that and blah blah blah. And then right before Christmas, I got a random DM from an A&R rep at a major record label on Instagram and TikTok because "Letting You Go," unbeknownst to me, was a like minor TikTok trend with girls posting it for like New Year's Eve, like saying we're letting our shitty ex-boyfriend, our shitty boyfriends go in the new year. And there was like 300 uses of it. I had no idea. I was just so frustrated because my videos weren't getting any views. But somebody at a big label in Nashville saw all those, heard the song, fell in love with it, and then I got my first label meeting because of that. So you're right. You never know.
that seems like a perfect segue to get to play the song at halftime there. But we do have a question in the chat. We'll follow up right after the song. We'll ask that. So we'll come out of the song with that question. So
Awesome.
you want to give us a little rundown on "Letting You Go"?
I sure will. This is a real special song, and it's a great segue because we were just talking about Ronnie. Ronnie doesn't know this. I haven't told him yet. I need to because he loves the song too. He's been showing everybody in Nashville this song. He loves it. The idea for the song came. I wrote it with my friend Jacob Boyd, and then Roger Springer came in and helped us finish it. Jacob and I were writing at Ronnie's office in town. I still have a key. I don't know if he knows that, but we were writing it in his office in Nashville in I think 2024. And Jacob sat down with me and he said, "Are you still signed here?" And I said, "No." And I told him the story of when Ronnie called me to say he wasn't going to, re up my contract. And what I said, for the only reason I can think of is God told me to say it, is, "Yeah, Ronnie called me and said, I just called to let you know I'm letting you go." And I stopped and looked at him and I said, "Are we going to write that?" And he goes, I got nothing better. And the 90% of what letting you go is today fell out of the sky in an hour and a half in that writer's room that day because I was telling the story about Ronnie dropping me from the publishing company. And now it's turned into all these opportunities with that song. But it's just a stone cold steel guitar soaked sad country song, man. And everybody's seeming to dig it. So it's really cool.
All right, sounds good. All right, here we go.
We'll go quiet on this, guys. So if you could hit the little quiet button there, that'd be awesome.
On the microphone. All right.
All right.
Here we go. All right.
That'll make you want to drink.
Well, sorry about the volume. It was all the way up. I'm not sure what I could hear it, but who knows? It's technology.
I enjoyed it.
So the question in the chat before the volume was from Reister. I believe that's who that's.
Please don't tell me it's my drummer.
Maybe. Holiday.
Uh-oh. Yep. What does he want?
I had a feeling. But no, he wants to know why you settled on playing Telecasters. Is it more of the feel or the sound, or what other guitars feel best to
Um,
you?
it's honestly not a bad question, Reese. It's not a bad question. Because I was gonna say that because I wanted to sound like Brad Paisley, but I got a Telecaster before I even like listened to Brad play at all. So I don't know. I always loved the look of them growing up. Like Ronnie would always play one. He would play one
Right.
on stage, and so I grew up seeing him play in a Tele all the time. I thought it looked cool, and yeah, it was the first real guitar I got, and now I can't really play anything else comfortably.
Well,
So
they're incredibly versatile. So, I mean,
they are.
it makes sense.
They are.
I feel like,
Good question, Reese.
yeah, thanks, Reese. I feel like this is a great opportunity for you to tell us about that one famous guitar that you have.
Yeah, should I grab it off the wall?
Love to see it.
It's right here. Hang on. Here she is.
Ooh. So, what should we know about this bad boy?
So this was a gift from Mr. Brad Paisley. Um, Gave it to me 2 years ago and change, I believe. It's a 1953 Refin, and it's got a Glacier V bender in it, and a little note under the pick guard from Brad that says, "Hayden, stop ripping me off." BP. But yeah, man, this is a incredible instrument. I can't get enough of it. I've had a couple of custom tellies. I just sold one of them recently. I got another one still, but none of them touches that thing, man. It is a beast.
And that's your player, right? Like that's your number.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I take it out every show. Every show, it plays exactly just like I've always. I've been playing guitar for like 12 years now, and there was a point in time where I was really struggling to like find a telly that felt good. It felt easy to play. It probably had something to do with my ability too. I was still figuring out how to play, but I was always searching for just a guitar that felt good, and I found it here. This thing, it's like I'm on autopilot when I play on that thing.
So I wonder what it's like to have Ronnie and Brad in your Rolodex. Like I mean, that's pretty cool.
It's dangerous. I probably text them way too much. It's like, oh yeah, that's in my phone book. I wonder what they're doing today. We get bored, and I'll just like ask Brad what amps he ran through at his last show. He's probably like, "Will you leave me alone?"
Nah.
No, it's pretty cool, man. They're both they're awesome dudes, and there's so many people that I've gotten to meet, singers and artists and guitarists in the genre that they're all just everyday guys like us. They're wonderful people. They're super generous people too.
Well, I understand that you at some point in the past had an option to potentially go out and play as a lead guitarist with one of the bands. Can you tell us anything about that?
I can, yeah. That was a little over a year ago. Ronnie called me and said they were looking for a second lead player on the road, and they were interested in hiring me or having me audition or whatnot. When he asked me, he knew. He was like, "You probably got so much, like too much going on with your career to make it work, but just want you to know that we're thinking of you." And I was like, "Holy crap!" I was like, "Let me sit down and think about this for a second. Like, see if we can make this work." Um, Playing on my dream stages with one of my favorite bands of all time. Like, I I should really think about this. And I took a few days and I looked at their schedule and my schedule, and there's only like a couple of conflicts. But ultimately, they added a bunch of more dates, and Ronnie was like, "No, if you were to take this gig, there would be no doing both.
Right.
You'd be doing this gig. You'd have to put your artist career on pause." And luckily, they made the call for me. They were like, "And we don't want you to do that. We believe in what you're doing. and we're on your side on that front. So we don't want to take that away from you. We know how hard you've been working and what you've been building. So they kind of told me no, which was a blessing because I did not want to have to make that decision.
Sure.
It was tough. It was tough.
Totally.
But
Well, you made the
super
right
honored
call.
to be asked, though.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I did want to ask about managing the living in Texas, working in Nashville, working in Texas, living in Nashville, that whole thing. What is that like? I don't know that everybody completely understands what that experience is like.
Yeah, well, it's changed over the past 5 years. Because like when I started really going to town was 5 or 6 years ago, and there was a lot of talk of like, all right, well, if you really want to make it, you got to move here. Like you got to move here. That mentality was still there. But I was, being from Texas and watching what Kojo did and Parker did, and so many other guys from down here. I knew that you could stay here. George Strait still lives here. I knew you could, but I was open to seeing what Nashville was like and if it was worth moving there. And just coming out of college, I was making enough money down here touring. But I was like, I'm making a sustainable, you know, income doing this. I know if I dropped everything, got rid of my band, sold, all the road gear, and then just moved to Nashville and wrote for a $25,000 a year advancement, and then went and played bars on Broadway every night to make a living, I wouldn't be very satisfied after all the hustling and road dogging it that I'd done down here. So at the beginning, I was like, man, I don't really want to do it. And there was a lot of people trying to sway me the other way. Now, with how prevalent social media and Spotify and, what COVID did to bring up this thing called Zoom that everybody was writing on and taking meetings on, it's a lot different. There are a ton of artists that are my age, but they're a little bit more, they're a little bit more successful than I am. Your Braxton Keiths, your William Beckmans, those cats. They live down here among a bunch of others. And what's funny is I tell this joke. It's like, yeah, now we just see each other at the baggage claim on Monday mornings at BNA. Oh, where'd you play this weekend? Oh, how long are you in town? When are you flying back out? Thursday. That's kind of what all the Texas people do now is
Right.
we live down here. Our home base is down here. Bus call is down here. And most of the shows are down here, but we fly up to Nashville once a month, twice a month if we have to, and take care of business up there. And that's kind of becoming the norm. Like the meetings that I'm taking now with the publishers and the labels and stuff, the conversation has shifted from like, well, you got to move here to, yeah, we'll work your schedule out to where it matches up with your touring schedule down there in Texas. It's like, well, that's different,
Yeah,
It
pretty
wasn't
cool.
like that 5 years ago.
What I have to ask this question because of a conversation I was having with my bandmates before you came on.
Okay.
They were, just shooting the shit, and they were like, "Well, who's the interview tonight?" And I told him, and they were like, "So what's his story?" I'm like, "Oh, he played he played Division 1 baseball, and he's had a publishing deal with with Ronnie's publishing company and all that." And then he says, "Well, what's a publishing company do?" And I'm like, I've never actually completely asked that question. I said, but I think they pitch songs. And he was like, oh, you smartass, you. Because of the baseball pitching
Oh,
singers.
yeah.
Yeah. He was like, so that's why they hired the singer-songwriter baseball player to pitch songs.
But do you know what Ronnie
So-
named his publishing company?
First base.
Perfect,
No.
perfect pitch.
First base.
So there you go.
So just a brief. What for us that don't know, what does a publishing company do?
Yeah, they essentially they'll manage your catalog of songs that you've written, and they will make they'll schedule you rights in town with we're having a party. I apologize. Hey, watch this. 1 second. Stand by. I got this. Hayden Baker, the tech wizard. Boom.
Social media guru.
I can do it
Tech
all,
wizard.
man. I can do it all. Publishing companies. they manage your catalog of songs. They will, which includes pitching them out to no. Why aren't you working? We failed, guys. We
It's
failed.
okay.
Okay,
It's all
watch
right.
this. We're going old school. You ready?
Okay.
We're just turning the light on in the room.
Yeah, we can see you good.
Yeah,
How about
that's fine.
that?
That's perfect.
So they'll set you up rights, co-writes with like I said, writers that are better than you in town and get you in a room with the right people. They will pitch it out to I think like TV stuff or sync licensing. Try to get you opportunities there. Um, and I'm sure they do a lot more stuff that I have no idea. I don't even understand, to be honest with you.
Understand.
But it's publishing. It's really the songwriting side of the business is what the publishing side is.
Understand. The other thing I was going to ask, I keep bouncing back and forth, but Talbot's had a lot of questions tonight. Gear wise, are you still an amp on stage guy, or what's your setup?
Amp on stage, and they're about that size, that big one right there.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it's funny. I'm gonna out my buddy here. Have y'all heard the name Scotty Alexander yet?
Yes.
Yes, my favorite guitar player on earth. He's incredible. He's down here in Texas. He's been around, man. He plays fiddle like Charlie Daniels, sings like Vince Gill. It's incredible. He I went and saw him play last weekend, and he just got the new quad Cortex deal, and he went ampless for the first time, and he was testing it out. He texted me a picture this morning that he bought a 310 cab and a Dr. Z Carmen Gia, and I was like, you're getting rid of the quad that quick? And he goes, yep, back to amps like immediately. No, I'm amps on stage, man. I want to feel it. That's how I started playing, and that's what got me excited. That's what really got me excited about playing live and stuff was gear, was pedals and amps and all that kind of stuff, and getting a good tone. That was the thing I got right early on before my playing style was my tone. I would get gigs as a guitar player around Houston, not because I was the best player in town, but I would get gigs because I had my tone figured out.
Which is a huge deal. I mean, I personally know a bunch of barroom guys that have a lot of ability, but just don't hear that other side of it. The tone sucks,
Exactly, yeah. So I will more than likely, never say never, but I'm 99% sure I will be an amp guy till I am in the ground. It's just we did a TV thing on a float in a parade, and we had to go digital, so I used the Tone X for it, and it sounded great. We're going to Norway in August, and I think they're gonna have backline for us, but we're all gonna bring Tone X's just in case, So I've done it here and there, but I don't like it. I don't like it as much.
I think I've heard stories. I need to deep dive into this to make sure I'm correct, but I think I heard something about as far as when the Eagles are playing the sphere thing, that they're using in-ears for the first time ever, and it's messing them. Yeah, they're not.
Wow.
Yeah, like Joe Walsh is not a fan.
I bet.
Hopefully that story is correct. I heard it kind of in passing, but I think that if that's true, that is pretty wild. That after all these years, that that would be the first time.
Wow.
I do have a follow-up question, right quick. Does Brad let you, I don't know, take tips off his pedal board?
Whether he lets me or not, is a different question. Have I? Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I've snooped around side stage and
pictures.
I say that when I first started hanging out with him back in 2019, I guess I was up at a show in Ohio. He invited me up too because Dr. Z and Brian Wampler were coming out and they were gonna have some gear and stuff. So he invited me to that, and he let me at that one. After they finished sound checking in the amphitheater, he called me out to the center of the stage and handed me his pink paisley, and I got I didn't have a pick on me, which I'm not making that mistake ever again. I put a pick in my jeans everywhere I go now. Didn't have a pick on me, so I was thumb picking on his telly through his rig, through the PA in this 20,000 seat amphitheater. And his band's like, "Are we done? Can we go to catering now? Like, what is this?" Um, and then like it shows like that, I would hang out with his guitar tech at sound check, and I would just look at all the stuff backstage and take pictures and snoop around. So,
very cool.
Yeah.
All right, so Gravy, are we ready? My clock
Seems
restarted.
Let's talk about the Norway thing.
Yeah, sure.
And
headlining, right?
Yeah, can you piggyback on that a little bit?
Totally. Yeah, I've got fans over there in Norway. I guess it was funny. We got reached out to by this festival that we're headlining over there, and when I say Norway, dude, I mean in the Arctic Circle. Like we're going way up there.
Okay.
I'm kind of afraid. It's gonna be like a full day of travel with 6 dudes that have never been to Europe. It's gonna be something. But they reached out to my agent just randomly and said we want Hayden to headline the festival. We've been seeing him on Facebook and stuff, and we accepted the offer. And then like 2 days later, another festival on the complete opposite side of Norway offered us as well. Wow. And it was like, what is going on over? So yeah, we're trying to figure out all the travel plans right now. It's kind of a pain getting all that squared away and all the logistics and stuff. But we're excited, man. It's going to be fun.
Yeah. My son was, so I have twin boys, soon to be 21, thank God. But he was in Norway last summer. And do you know Sunshine from Shane Smith?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So they were actually over there, and they went to go see him while they were doing study or whatever. I don't know how that worked, but yeah, it was pretty cool. Go all the way to Norway to see our friends. So yeah,
I love it.
Well, that'll be awesome. I think we're ready for a little rapid fire, and we're gonna get you out of here. So, don't have a lot of thought on these, but just kind of rapid fire the name of the deal. What's your favorite chord?
Sus2.
I don't know why that one makes me laugh all the time.
It makes everybody laugh.
I'll go just a Sus2, man. I love a good Sus2 chord.
All right, there we go. Good answer. Are we far enough out? Do you listen to music on Spotify?
I actually listen on Apple.
Apple, okay.
I've been an Apple guy.
Apple has a version of Wrapped, is that right? Mm-hmm. Where they kind of tell you who you listen to over the last year?
They do.
Any idea who was in your top few?
It was. This is funny. It's me, because I was listening to it, practicing my songs after they would come out, and it was my vocal exercise album. But if I had a true Wrapped, it would be probably John Mayer #1. It would be probably Paisley 2, Brooks and Dunn 3. I would say like Alan Jackson 4 and Whitley 5, maybe.
Solid.
I'd say that.
Yeah. I mean, I'd hang out in your car and listen to all that, so that's
not bad. It's not too bad.
I think it's like he's not the first person to throw John Mayer in those things, which is, you know what I mean. When you're talking about Brad Paisley and everything is country, but you know then which I mean I love that honestly, but some of Mayer's stuff is some of the best that's out there. So
if I were to give you albums, the #1 album for the past probably 3 years for me is Mayer's the Born and Raised record, the folk country record. That is my go-to late night driving the van home. Got to stay up and vibe out. I'm putting that record on.
Yeah, great choice. All right, here's a kind of random question, but you ever thought what you might be doing if you weren't doing music?
Oh man, I think it would be something baseball related. I just yesterday just like picked up a ball and was like, forgot that part of my life, That was literally everything for 20 years. Threw it up against the wall, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna go inside. I think I'd be doing something in the baseball world. I've always, if I were to give you like a dream job that's not what I'm doing right now, that is not being a player, it'd be to be a baseball announcer, be a play-by-play guy. I think I could do pretty well at that. My fiance is like, and in football too. Like I'm a big college football and NFL fan. My band guys are like, I will say after a play happens something, and then the announcer will say like word for word what I just said, and they're like, "All right, dude, we get it. Okay,
Perfect for production. Yeah, absolutely.
So maybe
Especially-
something in that vein.
Especially the old school guys like Vince Scully and different ones where the story in between the plays was just as important as the play itself. They'd be talking about well, I've got a roast in the crock pot. That's a strike
Yeah.
too.
Exactly.
Sweet.
It's gonna be good when I get home, and he's out.
Yeah, for sure. I don't know. I don't think I'd be having, no matter what I was doing, I don't think I'd be having near as much fun as I am doing this. I'll tell you that.
All right. Well, that's good.
Yeah,
All right.
good deal.
You get dinner with one historical figure. Who are you breaking bread with, and what are you eating?
Oh, historical figure. Man, terrible question.
There's more.
I'm not going real rapid fire with this, am I?
No, you're fine.
Yeah, I keep interrupting too. So.
I'm
gonna
gonna go easy on it, and I'll go music. I'm gonna have it with Leo Fender, and just ask him how he came up with the idea for that original, I guess, broadcaster or no caster. And we'll probably wouldn't mesh well, but I love eating hibachi, so let's go do some hibachi.
Hibachi sounds great right now. All right. I know you've seen all kinds, but tell me what your ideal green room looks like.
Okay. I need a big TV. Give me a 75-inch TV, because especially in the fall, man, I want to watch my football games, college football, because it's on Saturdays. We're always touring. I gotta watch the games in the green room. Just give me a big couch, for the band guys to sit on, and then put a nice little recliner over there for the guy whose name's on the marquee. that he can sit in there and watch it. I need a shower, need a stocked fridge, and a good little snack tray in the middle of the table, with your typical charcuterie thing.
Yep.
And that's pretty much it. I'll take that.
Sounds good. Since you're a Texan, what's one thing at Buc-ee's that you can't leave without?
It's if it's in the morning, it's one of the breakfast burritos, the Beast, or they used to have the Rhino and the Hippo, and those are gone. And now it's the Super Taco that I've been getting.
Okay. Yeah.
So if it's breakfast, it's that. If it's in the middle of the day and I'm like starving, it's the new brisket burrito. And then if it's late night, if it's like, the show's over, probably shouldn't be eating right now, but I'm going to anyway, it's the venison sausage and cheese and pretzel snack.
Oh yeah.
It's that one. And then that's pretty much it.
Solid. Not that you need a tip, but the what is it? The Philly cheesesteak burrito is also not awful. So
Another good one. Very good one.
Here for you.
They used to. I'm gonna go throwback here. Actually, do you remember when Buc-ee's used to have the kiosks with the touch screens you could order from the deli?
Yeah.
They took it away because I think COVID or something. They used to have a Frito pie burrito.
Oh yeah.
In there. And I would get that and
right now.
I would add guac and bacon to it. When I was in high school or college, I was eating so bad. I would still do it to this day though. And then when they stopped doing that, I just started getting the meat and cheese and bean burrito, and then just getting a bag of Fritos and making it myself in the truck.
There you go. All right, two more.
One of these days we'll have a Buc-ee's.
You get, let's see, for this question, you get to add your music to any TV show or movie soundtrack. You get to add one of your songs. Which TV show or movie would you like to see one of your songs on?
I mean, I'm gonna add it to Yellowstone because I'd be making a lot more money than I am now.
That's fair. That's a good answer.
Yeah.
Do that, or Landman, or whatever the big one is.
Yeah, both those would be great. We haven't asked this in a while, but tribute bands, yay or nay?
Not my thing.
Not your thing. All right.
Okay, okay. I'll if they're if the band is still currently on tour, not my thing.
Yep.
But I will say this: I know they make a lot of money, and I understand it. And if I don't make it, I'm sure I'd be pretty tempted to start a Brad Paisley tribute band.
Fair enough. Yep.
So I understand it, but also not my thing.
Gotcha. All right. Well, great job. That was rapid fire. We set you up for this last question, which started as a joke, kind of, on episode 1, but now we're inclined to ask it every single time. So there you go, Soul Gravy.
All right. I had another question too, but
maybe
I'll
not.
Follow it up. I'll follow it up with this. We'll go with this one first. So we'll go. So it started as a joke on episode 1, and now it is a requirement. Hayden, with all that Buc-ee's information you have, now we need to know what's your favorite Little Debbie snack?
Swiss cake rolls. I think.
Okay.
Oh, wait a minute.
Uh-oh.
Is the Star Crunch thing? Is that Little Debbie? Those. It's those.
Okay.
All right. Star Crunch.
Well, I mean, I kind of feel like the Buc-ee's and the Little Debbie thing they go like hand in hand, right? We should marry those questions.
Probably.
Well, have you ever been in a situation where you've seen somebody maybe you know or don't know cover any of your songs?
Yes. I don't think I've been like in a room and it just happened unexpectedly, but I've had people open for us that tell us they play like 3 or 4 of my songs in their show. And I remember I was like, the first thing that I thought of was, who's playing all the solos? Like, I want to know who's learning the guitar part. And the artist said it was him. And I was like, really? And I think he opened for us at one point. So yeah, there's been a few younger guys down here that said they play this song or that song in their show. That's a huge honor.
Online.
Yeah,
any
pretty
of that
cool.
stuff.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of people are covering and singing it a lot better than me, letting you go. There's this one guy that was, belting it out like Ronnie Dunn. And I was just like, holy crap, dude. Maybe I should sing it like that. But it's been pretty cool. The coolest thing that I see a lot now, which is, it makes me just feel so warm and fuzzy inside, is people covering my guitar solos on TikTok and on Instagram. That I read Brad Paisley's book when I was first starting out that he put out, and I've got this line in there saved that he was talking about making his first record and how important the guitar parts were to him because he knew it would define him as a guitarist. And he said something along the lines of, I knew there was going to be some kid out there that was going to be inspired by these guitar parts, and I couldn't let him down, whoever he is. And I was like, it was me. It was me. And so I think that way when I'm doing my solos and recording my albums. I really put a lot of thought and time and effort into the guitar parts, and to see other artists and kids and people in Europe and Australia posting videos playing my guitar parts is the coolest thing in the world.
Very cool. Well, that's the point of asking that question. So, well, Hayden, we appreciate the time. If y'all don't follow Hayden on all of his socials and wherever you stream your music, please hit the follow button on all those places. We know Hayden and just about every other guest that we have really just does not care to be doing social media. So when you see their stuff come across, engage with them, like, comment, share, so they don't, they're not doing it all for nothing, because that's can be a demoralizing thing. So help a homie out and engage in all these guys' posts when you see them. So, all right, Hayden, we appreciate the time, man.
Thank you, guys. Yep. I'll make sure my light's fully charged next time.
It's all good, man. Thanks for being